Well, immigration is something that affects all of us. Your friends, may be undocumented, but just there's a lot of people around us who go through this on a daily basis that we're not aware of.
I used to live in Minnesota, and my parents were up there illegally. We later moved down to Brownsville, Texas. We were fine for a couple of years, and then a clerical error happened on my mother's application for my sister's passport, and that clerical error then caused my mom to be deported. I went to school in Brownsville, Texas, and after my mom was deported, we did something that isn't, it's pretty common down in the valley. We went to school in Brownsville, and we lived in Matamoros, which is the sister city. And every day we'd cross the border, take the city bus, go to school, and so we would stay long hours, come back to the bridge, take the Mexican bus back home, and sometimes it'd take 2 or 3 buses. So that was physically draining, emotionally, spiritually draining on both of us, and that was really difficult when you wanted to go out with your friends and you wanted to like have fun, be like a regular kid, but that wasn't the case for us because we were border children. Most of college I worked 3 jobs, and a lot of that money went savings into both of my parents' immigration paperwork. And I think a lot of times, sometimes I think I'm misunderstood, and I say that in a half-joking manner, because I know, like, I do all these different activism things. When it comes to race issues, immigration issues, women issues, gay, lesbian, bisexual, queer issues. And so I know somehow there's a misperception of me that I might come from like a really well-off family, or that my family's educated, but I don't think people really know this issue. And I know that my own personal way of how it's affected me, right, with my mom, both of my parents being undocumented. And so it's really interesting to hear all the stories. We've had conversations on campus where we have students whose nannies were undocumented, whose housekeepers, right? And so when I've been in rooms having these conversations, you can ask the room, how many of you do you know someone who is undocumented? And the amount of hands that you see raised is tremendous. It's surprising. It's incredible. I think a lot of times when we think about immigration reform, a lot of the things, and really in any movement, we need allies to move those movements. As much as we want immigration reform, people who are immigrants or undocumented can't really do that movement without allies who are citizens, who have the power to vote and who have the power to move these things, right? So really, for me, I try to be an ally in a lot of different things, because we're not in this alone. We need to constantly stand together to fight those battles. There's different ways to be allies, and something I heard from a wonderful person, her name's Kim Crosby, she's an activist in Canada. She said, wake up every day like your ally card expired last night, right? And you have to work for it every day. But for me, what's being a productive member of society is knowing each day that I did what I could for someone else. I just know that, and I need to help people, and I need to help others. I need to give those tools that I've learned to others, right? Because I won't be around here forever, right? We need to pass those tools on. I think that's something I definitely want to encourage students to do. Encourage yourself to step out of your comfort zone, expand your comfort zone, and get to know people who are different than you, and advocate for who you can. For people who are afraid to speak out on their story, on an issue that affects them, just know that there are groups of people who want what you want, that are fighting for what you want. I'm not really part of any student organization. A lot of the issues that I've picked up have just been on my own, just because I think we need to do something about it. And I don't commit myself to an organization, and I think that gives me a little freedom, right? It gives me a freedom to where I want to commit my time to and how I want to go ahead and support that issue. So just think about that as you're moving forward with your lives and what you want to advocate for, and know that you can always advocate for different things, but just do what feels right to you, what really feels right to you, and what can change something for someone else.